Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Yahshim, Yahweh Shah by Yahshim Wakal Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well. And peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking his word in sincerity and truth. You know, in his truth, it's very important that we get over things quickly and that we're not being petty. You know, brother might offend you or brother might rub you the wrong way. But just because you have a certain perspective, that's different from what your brother is, doesn't make that man wicked. You know, really, that feeling of irritation can be really the spirit, telling you that you need to sharpen up and be more merciful. We had two or three brothers, were ex brothers that were in this camp that were very petty, wanted to nitpick and wanted to always point out what another man was doing wrong. And they were some of the most laziest people that were in the camp at that given time. And the reason why they did that is because they were trying to get fleshly or carnal wins. And this business was about uplifting Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, not winning these vain arguments within the body. So this is according to the Urban Dictionary, the word petty, making things, events, or actions normal people dismiss as trivial or insignificant into excuses to be upset, uncooperative, childish, or stubborn. Yeah, and this a lot of times that this action arises in the truth. You know, and you have to watch a man that's constantly being petty, and if you're the person, the party that's being petty, it's very important that you check yourself because more than likely it's a strong possibility that you might have a hidden agenda. You might uh, be lusting for a higher position, or you might want to be seen as righteous, seen as a guy that's rebuking. You see, so it's very important that you check yourself. You know, when it's that feeling of pettiness arises within yourself, man. A person who habitually overreacts, a person who is purposelessly childish with the intent of eliciting a reaction, sometimes funny, an immature overreaction in retaliation of an undesired outcome. And a lot of times brothers do that, in its truth, when they feel a certain scenario didn't play out in a manner that they deemed as right, you know, totally being willful and presumptuous, man. This thing requires us to be in order, not to be petty, so you can push your perspective on the camp. And we have to remember that the Most High's perspective is what's right, not in order is right, not what you deem is right, man. You know, so it's very important that we're checking ourselves. So let's jump to the scriptures. This is James 4:11. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judges his brother speaketh evil of the law and judges the law. But if that thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that thou judgest another? And that's a fine line between having judgment and being judgmental. You see, if brothers out there, there's a brother constantly complaining about another brother. The first thing you should ask, have you talked to that brother yet? And if you catch yourself complaining about a brother, then one of the first things that you need to say is, I'm going to talk to this brother about it, because you could just be venting. There's a fine line between venting and between talking down. If you have so much to say about somebody, but you don't have um, the integrity to go and talk to that person, then you're just being judgmental. Now, you might go to a brother and vent about another brother's action, because you're not feeling it. feeling that person or feeling his actions, and it might be valid, but you still, to CYA, you need to go talk to that person, man. You see, this thing isn't about pushing our own agendas and pushing what we deem right. You know, it's about what Yahweh Shimmy Shah wants, and not what you think is right, man. We had this one cat, in the truth, we was telling them, the elder was telling them, about a certain scenario. Well, hey, if you're right, the Most High will will reveal it, and if this the other person, the other party, in the argument, if he's wicked, then Most High will reveal that too. And this clown said, you know what, that's true, cause I'm always right. And look where he at now, making excuses on the sideline, being a petty mark in the dark. You know, it's a peon really. So we can't have that type of mentality in this truth, man. Of being petty, being emotional, and being girly, man. We're in a time for us to be very upfront. You know what I'm saying, with our thoughts. Not in a manner in which is destructive. Now you could be too uh, upfront about your feelings, and it comes out all wrong. There's a certain way that you need to talk to a brother. You need to reveal that brother as a servant for Yahweh Shem Shah, man, and not just a nigga. You know, they got on your nerves. It's a fine line, and that takes us being transformed by the renewing of our mind. We can't react to certain problems that we have with our fellow brother, our fellow Israelite, you know, in the same manner in which we reacted when we were in the world, man, because we're new creatures. You see. So let's get to the next verse. Now this is Ephesians 4:17. This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in vanity of their mind, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart, who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. But ye have not so learned Mashiach. If so be that ye have heard him, and have been taught by him, as the truth is in the Yahushua, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. That's right. So once we walked as Gentiles in our lasciviousness, and that means our filthy, excessive lust, man. Women chasing. You know what I'm saying? Uh, uh, you know, into vanity. Buying the newest kicks, being fresh wherever you go. Making had to have an edge up every week. You know what I'm saying? Had to make sure you worked out to look good for the hoes. All that stuff we let go, man. And which is black culture, which equates to death. And also what we put away is how we interact, or how when a problem arises, you know, in between, friends, or in between our nations, man. The people who deem themselves as Israelites, we don't look at them as niggas, and we don't treat them as niggas. You see? And also we don't conduct ourselves as niggas, man. When a problem arises, when a conflict arises, man, in between two brothers or brothers. You see? Uh, Verse 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore putting away lying speaking every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. That's right, we're a part of a body, man. So you know what we perceive as right, you know is less important than what's good for the body. Your perspective, you know, is not more important than the truth. And you have a lot of guys out there that's fell out because of their perspective, and not because of and not because of the truth, man. And they didn't stay in because of the truth. That's what I'm trying to convey. You see, it was all about what they thought. Verse 26: Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Neither give place to the devil. That's right. So if you get angry, don't sin by talking down on your brother, man. You see, that's very important. Me personally speaking, I'm a very hot natured person. So a lot of times it's good for me just to talk to somebody and then to keep it bottled up inside. Because in past times I've tried to keep the bottle up inside, and a petty demon. That's why I'm bringing this out. A petty demon jump on me, and I end up having an outburst. And that shit ain't cute, man. You know, I ain't supposed to be yelling at another brother, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a grown man right there, paying bills and things of that nature. So who the hell am I? You know. So I say all that to say this is it's good for me. Sometimes I go and I talk to the brother like, man, this happened with the woo, and then I go talk to the brother that offended me. You see, but each man has to find a way in which the Satan does creep in, and Satan creeps in via you know uh, disputes with amongst the brothers, man. You see, so you have to always check yourself. You know, let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which it is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of the Most High, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as the Most High forgave Mashiach's slightly, even as the Most High for Mashiach's sake have forgiven you. That's very important, bro. You know, get over. We're in the time to where we have to forgive and get over things very quickly, man. It's too much things going on to be uh, worried to be arguing, or to be holding on to some shit that happened 3 years ago. Had brothers that got offended 3-4 years ago and they could never get over it, and they're not making it. They didn't make it, because that bitterness overtook them, man. You see, that bitterness overtook them, and they were swallowed up. You see, um, let me jump back to James, and then that'll be it. Actually, Shlaki, you know what? That's pretty much it on that. The point where it's been made. I want to give all praise to Yahweh by Shim Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and the heirs that rule well, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's keeping His word in sincerity, also in truth.